If you recall, back in July, we released our findings of what's really happening with crime in democratic cities/states, like Chicago. Let's review. Hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into this.
In his neighborhood, but the shooting makes him feel uneasy. Instead, what police have told us so far is that the victim is a 20-year-old. According to police, it was around 9:40 Friday evening.
Violent crime is down. Violent crime is down. Violent crime is down. Violent crime is down.
17 to 19, all but one in fair condition. The other victim, the seventh, is in serious condition. Officers say someone in a car drove past the large.
Violent crime is down. Violent crime is down. Violent crime is down.
And his teenage friend was wounded just hours after charges are filed against the lifeguard accused of the
Violent
crime.
crime is down. Violent crime is down. Violent crime is down. Violent crime is down.
Second person with a knife at Navy Pier, the beer garden, 700 East Grand.
Before 2 o'clock this morning near California and 27th, less than a block away from the Cook County Courthouse. According to CPD, a dark SUV drove past the victims who were inside of a parked vehicle. That's when
I promise to hire 200 more detectives to ensure that they are carrying out policing constitutionally. It's an ongoing effort, and look, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like this is not a challenge. You know, I've inherited quite a bit.
By choice. Now, let's review the question asked of the mayor.
Let's go to the phones, Mayor. Prosperity is waiting in Austin. Hey, Prosperity. Welcome to In the Loop.
Hello. How are you today?
Doing well. What's your question for the mayor?
My question is that I have been receiving comments back from police officers as well as sheriffs that are in touch with Chicago police officers, and they are being told that they are to stand down against residents and teens. Can the mayor address that, please, what we are being relayed?
What do you mean by stand down? Could you offer some clarity, prosperity, and welcome, West Side?
Yes, West Side. What they're saying is that if there's something that they do that is against the law, that the police officers are telling citizens that we can't do anything because the mayor told us not to touch them.
Well, that's first of all, I don't know how that information is moving about. That's inaccurate. If someone is moving outside of the parameters of the law enforcement has the full authority to course correct. I mean, it's so much so that this is why I made critical investments, Prosperity, into our detectives division and detectives bureau. The reason why our clearance rates are higher, I mean, as high as 77%, the highest they've ever been in a decade, is because our frontline officers are providing the necessary detail and information so that we can prosecute folks and hold people accountable. One thing that we're not going to tolerate is individuals terrorizing our communities. If they are working outside of the parameters of the law, they will be held accountable, and our police department has the full authority to administer that authority.
Thank you for your call, Prosperity.
Now, let's look at the crime in Chicago since October 1st to current.
The overall problem.
Violent crime is down.
I contend that
Violent
if
crime
you don't
is
have
down.
law and order
Violent
and
crime
safety
is
and
down.
security, you can't
Violent
pursue
crime is
happiness.
down.
4,000 dead under Pritzker. What's your reaction to him?
Yeah, he is apoplectic that Donald Trump wants to come in and help Chicago and fix Chicago and make Chicago safe. Going back to Memphis, you gave the great stats on Memphis. Do you know how many missing children we found in Memphis? 44. Finding one missing child makes it all worthwhile. 44 missing children.
By the way, what is a missing child?
A missing child is a missing child who's been taken away from their parents, abducted children who are on their own, all under the age of 18. Teenagers and younger. 44 missing children. Some have been taken by non-custodial parents, but 44 have been recovered. Finding one is enough to make it all worthwhile. And then you take that to Chicago. They had 571 homicides last year. Pritzker should be begging Donald Trump to come in. And, you know, on what you said about Memphis, we have Mayor Paul Young working with us. He's amazing. He's a Democrat. He wants to make Memphis safe. Right here in D.C., Sean, look how safe D.C. is now because of Muriel Bowser working with Donald Trump. Metro Police, Transit Authority Police, right here, working with all of our federal agents hand in hand and our National Guard. Pritzker's lost his mind.
I've been here all day. It's a discernible difference.
Thanks to Donald Trump.
It is a discernible difference. It's a very different place. So the president, I guess he talked about if they will not enforce the law, if they will not keep American citizens safe in towns and cities, that it may result in him invoking the Insurrection Act. Let's talk about the legality of that.
Sure, he absolutely has the right to do that, the legal authority to do that. We didn't have to do it in Los Angeles.
A new report from our very own Charlie Gasparino. The U.S. Department of Justice has uncovered evidence suggesting that Democrat politicians have been skewing crime statistics on their own behalf ahead of the midterm elections. Okay, Charlie, what do you got on this?
I have sources in the DOJ. They've been crunching numbers. They found something really interesting. And in all these big all these states that you see the governors now opposing Trump, J.B. Pritzker in Illinois, based on crime stats in Chicago that are going down. Gavin Newsom just put out a tweet about how murders are falling dramatically in, I don't know, San Francisco. I believe it just came out. Go down the line, L.A. What I understand from inside the Trump administration is they've been looking at the police practices in these cities. Now, it would be interesting if they release these stats, and they may for the midterms. In each of these places that are touting double-digit declines, they've also often found rampant evidence of prosecutors not prosecuting felonies, basically busting down felonies for assault. You know, various forms of burglary, larceny, busting them down to misdemeanors. Thus, you show violent crimes and felonies
they're not happening,
declining dramatically. And if you want an example, I was pointed to the one case of this knife-wielding lunatic, sword-wielding lunatic that stomped on some guy's head in Brooklyn. The guy's name was Nicola Tanzi. He was apparently from everything. He was a model citizen, big in his church. He was just hanging out in the subway. And this guy that is...
He held the door for a guy.
Yeah, held the door for the same guy. This guy came and stomped his head in. If you go back, the guy... And killed him, by the way. If you go back, the guy was let off on an assault charge, busted down to a misdemeanor. He was literally just let off in July on that. So... times thousands is how you get Gavin Newsom crowing about lower crime rates.
Well, data, there's lies, damn lies, and statistics, right? So you got to get the underlying data right.
Violent crime is down. Violent crime is down.
Or is it?